What's up, guys? Killer Shrew Fan here, ready to bring you yet another one of our killer toy reviews. We've got something special for you today. It's this guy, the Carnegie 10th Anniversary Tyrannosaurus Rex. This figure was requested by Brendan Riley. Thank you so much for that request. We are going to give you the review you asked for here and now on Killer Shrew Fan's Killer Toy Reviews. Now, if you're like me, and I know that I am, this was one of your first toys. I believe it was released, what's his belly say? 1998 is what is printed on his stomach there. And I had this toy as a kid, and I remember just beating the hell out of it. Like, by the time I was done with him, he didn't have a lot of paint left, and that's just why I had to hunt this figure down again after all these years and add it to my collection. Purely nostalgia, and for some other reasons, but we're gonna get into that. But yeah, I loved this toy growing up, and having him again in my collection is just so great. I'm very happy to have him again. So he definitely gets some nostalgia points right off the bat, but let's give you a closer look at this figure, shall we? Starting off at the head, as you can see, he does appear to be roaring triumphantly. What about? That's up to the player to decide. But as you can see, they did sculpt all of the tiny banana-shaped teeth into that mouth, and no, they aren't that sharp. They're not a soft plastic, but they're not deadly sharp. So if you have a kid and you're thinking, would they be able to play with this? I think so. They might enjoy having this toy to play with. He's got a black stripe running from his upper jaw all the way back to behind his eye, and that's a very graphic detail. Very eye-catching. It's like some sort of war markings, of war paint going on in this guy, and he looks ferocious because of it. As you can see, he does have the classic sort of Carnegie eyes in there with the golden eyeball and then the black dot pupil, which shine quite vibrantly in the light. As you can see, they look quite lively. Going down the neck, as you can see, they have sculpted in all of these lovely striations that have come from wrinkles over time, with the creature bending his neck. On the underside, you've got some bunched up skin as the jaw opens. Once the neck meets the torso there, you've got some lovely wrinkles as the animal cranes its head back. And as you can see here on the neck, he has got his original tag here. Safari Limited, Carnegie Museum, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And this one is plastic, so you cannot cut this one off or take it off and put it back on. Once you cut it off, it's not going back on. So just something to consider if you're a collector. Going down the body, you see more of those lovely wrinkles and great texture going on here around the gut. You've got a nice swollen shape in the abdomen. The skin, the striations around that really give a swollen impression. You've got the classic sort of T-Rex arms on both sides, kind of small but also sort of menacing looking. You can tell they've got some sort of muscle mass going on. Again, same story on this side with all the lovely striations. Going down, you've got a very powerful looking thigh, very bird-like calf here. Like that just looks like an ostrich. If you look at it right there, just like that, it reads ostrich to me. Going down to the feet, you've got some small feet. They're rather small for such a big figure, and that does lead to some balancing issues. Same story on this side. Feet, claws, no weathering, just sort of the painting. You've got a lovely knee there. The texturing continues with the striations all the way down the tail. And the tail does not go out, it curves down, sort of giving this figure a tripod stance, which does bother some people, I know. But it is sort of necessary for this figure because he is very front heavy. Even with this tripod tail helping him out, I still have issues with him falling forward. So yes, maybe it's just mine, but I have experienced some balancing issues with this Carnegie Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is unfortunate, but once you get him to stand, he does pretty good. He does pretty okay. It's just getting him that first time to stand. Overall, the creature has a sort of rust brown / red color with the black war paint stripe on the head and then the black stripe running down the back that gradiates really nicely into those browns and reds. I'm really a fan of how they painted this figure. It's simple, but it's effective. On the underside, he's got more of a white situation. And I believe this is a cloaca. Maybe it's just wrinkles, but yes, they did include a cloaca-type shape. And there, as you can see where we looked earlier, he's got all of his information. The Carnegie Tyrannosaurus Rex, 1998, Safari Limited, Miami, Florida. All of that good stuff. Yeah. Oh, we forgot to give you a look on the inside of the mouth here. As you can see, he does have a bit of a palate, and a very, vibrant sort of red in the back of the throat there gives you sort of an impression that there is depth sculpted in there. And there is. The shadows work really nicely to accentuate that. So yes, overall, this is a great figure with its appearance. Does have some balancing issues. And another thing, I don't know if you guys saw it in the video, but let's give you a look here. He does have some paint wear. Now, bear in mind, I bought this new from a collector, and he came to me in perfect shape. But as you can see in areas such as this, and on his hand there, and on the toe claws, he is already having issues with paint scraping off. And like I said, I keep these things on the shelf, for the most part. The Carnegie ones, I don't really take anywhere. They stay on the shelf, they're for display only. And even with that, with his slight tumbles that he's taken trying to find his center of gravity, he has already lost all that paint. So that's a little unfortunate that he is so delicate, and it's just something to bear in mind if you intend to collect this figure down the road. Let's do some sizes for you guys. So, as with any Tyrannosaurus Rex figure, he is quite the sizable beast. Let's bring in our broken ruler here and see if we can get an exact size. It doesn't look like we can. Oops, there he goes. From the back of the curve of the tail all the way to the front, he is going to be around 10 inches long or so. I'm kind of estimating because my ruler's broken at the tip. I know, I should get a new one. And from the base all the way to the highest point, which is going to be the neck, you're looking at right around 4.5 inches tall. So yes, a very good sized Tyrannosaurus Rex figure. Let's do some size comparisons for you guys. We're going to start off by bringing in their later adaptation of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the 2014 version to be exact. And as you can see, this old version is larger than this new version here. He stands taller, he is longer, and if you ask me, he has a much more impressive overall look to him. I am not a huge fan of this Carnegie Rex, but you can hear all about that in our review video for this figure. Link will be down below. Next up, let's bring in the newest version of Tyrannosaurus Rex on the market. It is the Safari Limited Feathered Tyrannosaurus Rex. And wow, these two look pretty cool next to each other. You've got the amazingly detailed feathers here, and you've got this sort of classic T-Rex vibe going on here. So it's really cool seeing those two figures next to each other, and they size up pretty evenly there. I think they're about the same size. I mean, bear in mind he is in his tray, so that's probably giving him a little lift. But yeah, you kind of get an idea of how these two size up next to each other. And they look pretty darn good for display purposes. And of course, if you don't have either of those figures, feel free to run on down to your kitchen, grab yourself a banana, see how that would size up next to your average everyday banana. Oh man, these are going brown. I better eat these. I think I'll do that next. Well everyone, there you have it. Our look at the 10th anniversary Carnegie Tyrannosaurus Rex figure. Overall, I think this is a great standalone figure. And then you throw in the nostalgia points and it just goes up to another level. So I think just for the sculpt, the paint, and the size, this figure gets a 7.5 out of 10. But if you throw in those nostalgia points, I'm gonna up that to 8 out of 10. I just love this model. I did as a kid. I still do now. I'm very glad to have it. And honestly, with the way Carnegie is going with their products, I really think if you do not own this model, that you should definitely look to adding it to your collection before it is gone for good. That's just my thoughts, and as always, I want to know what you guys think. Did you have this figure as a kid? Are you gonna get it now? Do you love it like I do? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't be afraid to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for future videos. Before we go, I just want to thank Brandon Riley one more time for requesting this video. It means a lot that you guys are watching this and want to see more of what we do. So thank you very much. I hope we did justice to the figure that you requested. And yeah, Little bonus for you guys, here they all are standing next to each other. I do have the original Carnegie T-Rex, but not on me, so I can't put him in this video. I apologize for that. But yes, T-Rex through the ages. It's pretty cool to see them all together. One of my favorite dinosaurs, and these ones all display nicely together. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in our next video review.